there's no essential carbohydrate. There are essential proteins and essential fats.
Yeah.
And your body can produce the carbs that you actually need. But it's hard for people to recognize that.
It's just so not normal for them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 141 of the SuperSetYourLife.com podcast. We have a great podcast for you today. I had the honor and privilege of talking with my dear friend and just an incredible human being, Crystal Sikes, the Lady Savage. She is the owner of LadySavage.com, where she offers nutrition and fitness coaching. She is the co-founder of Keto Brick, and if you follow Colt and I for a while, you know that we are massive fans of Keto Brick, and we eat them every single day. And she is also the mommy of Rigel, and honestly, just one of my greatest friends. And we just had a little bit different of a podcast for you guys today, but we just talked about all things motherhood, the challenges that come up with motherhood, how you kind of have to adapt to the different phases of your child's life, and just motherhood and parenthood in general. And it's just something that's very dear to my heart. And I was excited to talk with her about that today. We also talked about business owner life and her current goals with powerlifting, which was really fun for me to just kind of pick her brain on that. And I know you guys are going to love it. You can find the links to her Instagram and the websites down in the show notes. And if you are not following her and Robert, you definitely need to be there. Two of our favorite people on this planet. And we are so blessed to call them our friends and to have them in our lives. Their @LiveSavage account on Instagram is where they post all about their daily lives, what they're up to as a family, homesteading endeavors, and so much more. You can find Crystal on Instagram @the.lady.savage and ladysavage.com. Keto Brick is @KetoBrick and ketobrick.com. We, again, are just so blessed to have had her on our show today. And we know you guys are going to get so much out of just this quick talk that we had. And we are just so blessed to share it with you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's Crystal Sikes.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you back, though, because I think the last time you were on our show was when you were pregnant. I don't remember how far along you were, but it's been a while. So I'm excited to catch up and talk about mom life and all the things. So why don't you tell us, well, obviously lots has changed since the last time, but what's new as of now? I'm sure people who are listening to this kind of follow your life anyway, so they know about Rigel, but what are you doing now? What are you working for or working towards and all that stuff?
Oh gosh. It even feels like we're always working on something, like always doing the next thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I have my son. And then we have like all of our businesses. We have a whole bunch of conferences and things like that we're going to this year.
Yeah.
And then me personally, like on some of my own goals, which I actually haven't even like shared at all with anyone. For like my close friends. But I'm like doing a powerlifting endeavor, and so I've been working with a coach for I don't even know how long. It's got to be like
it's been a few months.
Yeah, something like that. And so we're about to finish like my first like block of workouts, and then we'll go into another one, and then after that one I'm thinking about competing in the powerlifting. So I'm excited about that, but that's like my own personal little endeavor thing that's fun.
Let's talk about that, because, you know, my sister used to be a powerlifter and I loved watching her journey through that. Now she's kind of retired out of that because it definitely can beat up your body. She's in the mom groove right now and she's pregnant. But what kind of encouraged you to do that? Like, I mean, aside from, you know, the past, you've done bodybuilding. So now this is a whole different realm and a different mindset. So
I actually have always wanted to compete in powerlifting. Like since I first started lifting, someone came up to me and they're like, you should do powerlifting. And they were a coach and their daughter was doing powerlifting and they were like, you should do this, blah, blah, blah. And Robert and I were in the like right about to be moving from Washington to Arkansas. Yeah. So I was like, well, that'd be kind of like a cool thing to get into. But obviously I was moving and it was a little bit harder to like get in with a different group of people. Yeah. But because bodybuilding was like our life because of Robert and his competing and all of that, I decided to compete in bodybuilding, which I'm so glad that I did. And I'm glad that I had that experience, but I've always had it in the back of my mind that like, I want to do a powerlifting or like strongman or something like that. It's just, I feel like it's just more my style. I love bodybuilding and the sport of it for anyone who wants to do it. But I think for me, that's not really like my goal physique and like really what's good for my mental and all of that. So I just, after I had my son, I kind of just said, I need to do something that's for like me and something that's not going to be to where I feel like I'm tearing my body down mentally, and like I can actually work on like being stronger. And I needed a goal. I was just kind of like stuck in this weird middle ground of, I lost a little bit of strength during my pregnancy and I really wanted to just get strength back. And I felt like I needed to be led in something. So I just started saying like, maybe I'll do powerlifting.
Yeah.
So then I hired my coach and it's been awesome ever since. But really it was just like, I really wanted to just do something for me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to focus on being strong versus what I looked like. Because having a baby, there's a whole bunch of things that people expect you to bounce back and all of these things. And I just was not wanting to be a part of that.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I feel like too, just as a new mom and from my experience with motherhood too, you're constantly giving and giving and giving to everybody else. And it's really hard to put yourself first and to make the time. And that's definitely something that took me a long time to like come to terms with, and to, I think, maybe just be okay with that. My kids and my husband needed me to put myself first in this area because, you know, your health is so important. I just admire you. I think that's so awesome. And I would love to compete in powerlifting someday because I do enjoy like really training for strength. And I definitely did in the past. Before Colt started bodybuilding, we actually were training with a group of people at our gym back in Seattle who did powerlifting. And that's kind of what Colt was going to do. And then somehow it transitioned into bodybuilding. I don't even know how, which then has run our life since then, which I don't regret. Yeah. It's been a great journey. But I've been to a few powerlifting competitions with my sister and they're so fun.
Yeah.
And it's just really neat because any person at any strength can do them because you're not really necessarily competing against somebody else. I mean, you are, but you're more so just competing with yourself. And I mean, kind of the same thing with bodybuilding, but it's just such a different world. And it's just cool to not have a goal be around your physique, I feel like, which in your stage of life and after going through postpartum and all that, it's definitely, I think, a positive thing for your mind, I imagine, versus focusing on what you look like, because it's definitely all consuming when you're doing a bodybuilding show.
Yeah, and totally.
Even with the little I have done so far in that realm, but starting to get my feet wet in it, it definitely is like one of those things that has been hard for me to not focus on when it comes to like how I look, because you want to look a certain way, but it's definitely like it can be very damaging. So
yeah,
I think
it's still the same way. Like I really try hard not to focus on it. And I can tell I have had physique changes since starting doing powerlifting.
Yeah.
So it's like I was constantly working on myself no matter what. This just gave me a different goal. It's like, yes, my body is still also changing. That's like a really cool, like added benefit. Yeah. But it's cool that like I get to focus on the, like, how do I feel today? Like how, I don't know. I just like that. I like that feeling a lot.
Yeah. And like how your lifts are feeling and like, are you making like, and I think the nutrition side of that is, are you eating enough to support your muscle growth, which is so different because, you know, when you're bodybuilding, you're just cutting basically the entire time. So I think it's funny how you and Robert are both basically on a prep, but for totally different things. And so I'm sure your his macros are obviously for him, but it's just going to be different. And I think that's cool. But how does your coach feel with you being on keto? I don't know if I've ever heard of a powerlifter who's keto before. So
yeah. So she is a functional nutritionist as well.
Oh, great.
And so she knew before I ever started with her that I was been keto for years. Yeah. And so I asked her, I'm like, is there anything that I need to do like specifically? Do I need to like be eating a certain amount? Like, is there any suggestions that you have for me? And I think really it'll like end up more like closer to the meat, like doing a refeed or something like that. But, she's like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. Like everything seems to be fine. Like obviously I'm going to eat plenty of protein and energy source and all of that kind of stuff, but didn't have anything to say about it, which made me happy because I'm lifting what I can lift. It's like, I really don't think having some carbs is going to just do the trick.
The protein.
She knows I'm living my life doing the nutrition that I'm doing because it like helped my life to become what it is, so
when we hired the gal I'm working with to do my workouts and stuff, that was one thing we really had to not like get our point across, but when you're in the realm of carbs, protein, and fat, and you have to have carbs to increase your muscle, it's hard for people to understand anything else. And so we definitely have had, and she trusts Colt, thankfully, and like she's like, obviously you know what you're doing, this is what you do for work, but it's so different for her. And so it's been interesting to see. I think she's so confused when she looks at my macros and she sees that I'm like at a 1-to-1 protein fat ratio and there's no carbs. My strength is going up. Sometimes I think she's probably just very confused by all of it, but
yeah,
I love that though. So for your macros then, are you like at a 70-30? What do your macros look like for that? If you don't mind me sharing or asking.
Yeah. They're kind of a little bit all over the place at the moment because I'm just like trying to get through this weird phase of like life. But I would say for the most part, I usually do well at like a 68% fat ratio. And then my carbs are like always, I'd say like 30 and under. I really like raw milk. So all my carbs come from raw milk or like raw yogurt.
Yeah. That's good though.
And then the rest of it's coming from protein. So I think that's usually where I do best at is like 68% fat.
Nice. And has any of that like changed? Like if you kind of stuck with those ratios, like this first year of Rigel's life went while like breastfeeding and all that stuff, is it kind of just been the same?
Yeah. I think like I found that worked really well even before I got pregnant. And then through my pregnancy, I really ate to like what felt best.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes like a 1-to-1. Sometimes it's like the 68%. My digestion was a lot better when I was pregnant. So I could pretty much do whatever I wanted, like as far as like protein and fat. Like I had so much protein in my pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I started kind of like playing with it a little bit. I was still doing a lot of protein. And then I actually did like a really high fat for, I don't know, 4 weeks. And it definitely helped my digestion, like because protein can like stop you up if you're a person like me. So doing the high fat was helpful. And then I kind of just like tapered down to where I'm at again, like the 68.
Where you're comfortable.
So that just feels really good. So I did kind of mess around with it after having Rigel, but I mean, it's still kind of like within the same pocket.
Yeah. I can't believe that he's almost a year old. Isn't his birthday next month?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I think tomorrow he's 11 months and then next month, I can't believe it.
It goes so fast. It's like, it's crazy. You know, the saying, the days are long, but the years are short. It's so cliche, but it's so true.
Yes.
Because they just go like the days do seem like they last so long, but they just go so fast too. Mm-hmm. Like it still blows my mind that we have a 5-year-old. Like I literally can't even believe it.
Yeah. My nieces and nephews are getting like so old. The oldest one, I think, is 14. And it's like, you're becoming a little man. Like, this is not okay in my brain. Yeah.
Like, I remember when you were in your mother's belly. Like, it goes so fast. How's he doing?
He's great. He has like so much personality now. Like every day it feels like he's getting more and more personality, and he's just a little ham. He's hilarious.
Between a year and 18 months, like there's some hard times, but it's so fun. I think that still, I mean, I love every stage, but I think that when I look back on it, that was so fun because their personalities just start coming through and they're so like giggly and they don't talk yet. So they don't talk back. Like they babble a bit and they say a few words, but they don't say no yet or why.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's so fun. Oh, that's so exciting. So how has motherhood been? I know it's a really loaded question, but
sure is.
I know it's, when we talked Gosh, this was a few years ago. I think when we first had you guys on, and I just remember you saying that like you're building your life so you can be home and you can raise Rigel and just have that, like that was your goal. And I think I've heard you say that a few times. And so I know motherhood is so hard, and I know that it comes with its ups and downs, but is it just everything that you were hoping it would be and like praying for it to be?
Yes. Yeah. I definitely like, it really is like as amazing as I was hoping for, or more amazing, I would say.
Yeah.
Even like the newborn stage, like a lot of people are like, oh, newborn stage. And I'm like, I was like in this heaven. It was so weird. Same thing with my pregnancy. I feel like a lot of the negative things that people would say, I just was like, I mean, I don't really think I felt that way or whatever. And I honestly don't know if it's because I did wait so long to have, not that I'm old, but we waited a while, and we waited a lot longer than I wanted to. And I think it just made me more grateful for like every moment, every step, every every little thing,
Yeah.
So I really do think like it's been awesome. And yes, obviously there's like hard times, there's bad days, and there's just being fussy or being up all night or whatever. It's
Well, and then you're balancing not just like being a new mom, but also being a business owner, being a wife. Like it's a lot. And I don't know how I would have done that, because when we had James and Everly, Colt was still working his corporate job. So like I got to stay home, which was nice, but we weren't building a business. We weren't running a business. So I can imagine like the stress for you sometimes is just like at an all-time high, and just trying to juggle so many things with being a business owner and a wife and a mom and all that stuff. So it's
definitely been a challenge, and I've had to adjust my schedule so many times. It's ridiculous. But I think we just got into a really good groove. I was waking up really early in the morning and like trying to get work done, spend time with Robert, and then Rigel would wake up, but then he started waking up when I would get up. So it was like, okay, now I don't have that time. So I would just try to work periodically throughout the day. And I felt like my attention was focused on a computer.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting in front of me playing, and he obviously wants me to play with him. Right. And it just felt like, okay, this doesn't really feel good. Even though I'm working and not just like scrolling or whatever, it just didn't feel good. And so I think I just debated on it forever. Like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? Maybe I need to like just not work at all, not do anything to be a part of the business, and just like do what I can when I can. And that was just not an option.
Yeah.
And now it's really great because I put him down to bed, and then Robert goes to bed, and then I stay up for about 3 or 4 hours, and I just knock out all my work.
Nice.
I go to sleep, and then I get up in the morning. We start our day, and it's been really nice. And I don't feel like I am sacrificing a little bit of sleep, but I don't think it's too crazy. Like I don't feel like I'm sacrificing my health because of it. I just think I just had to adjust a little bit and get used to staying up late.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do too. I mean, I wake up at 4:15 for that reason, because finally our kids are sleeping in, so I can wake up that early. But I feel like is he on one nap a day now, or is he on?
No, he's still on 2.
So you'll have one more shift at some point. But once they're on one nap a day, it's like a sweet spot, because you know that they're going to be down for like James would do like 3 to 4 hour naps, and it was like the best. Then when we transitioned out of it, that was a hard transition, but
I feel like that will be nice, because he does like 2 naps, but sometimes it's like 30 minutes. And I'm like, where did the 2-hour naps go?
They come back when you consolidate them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Yeah. And then you'll have, then you can shift again, and you just got to be flexible with it. That's the one thing that I've learned. I've never really been a very flexible person, but motherhood has forced me to be flexible. Same. And Colt's not flexible either. So that's been a challenge for both of us, but you just got to be, because life changes and they wake up on the wrong side of the bed half the time and whatever. So
yeah, I'm very much like, I like a schedule. I like to know what to expect, like as much as I possibly can. And that's not a thing. You get it, and then your kid gets sick. Yeah. You're like, well, there goes that.
Yes, the sicknesses, and they're constantly building their immune system. So it doesn't really ever end. I wish I could say, hey, once they get to 5, it doesn't, it ends, but it does not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. So, what has been like the most surprising thing about motherhood for you?
Ooh, most surprising.
It's a hard question because I
Yeah,
don't
that
know how to answer
is.
that.
Oh, mm, I think I didn't expect to feel so protective. Um,
Hmm.
I knew that that was like mama bear is like a thing, but I am like hardcore about it.
Yeah.
It's like I would literally do anything for him, and I think maybe I probably, and maybe it's a first time mom thing, I don't know. Um, I feel like I just have that extra barrier. Like I want to know where he is. I want to know that he's doing well. I haven't really left him
Hmm.
with anyone because
You're not
I
ready.
don't trust anyone enough, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be a year and I have never left him. I honestly don't feel bad about it. I'm like, he can't talk. He
Yeah.
can't say how he feels. He can't say if he likes the provider. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know. I can tell what he's saying. We're learning a little bit of sign language right now, so
Nice.
that's pretty fun.
Oh, yes, that
Um,
comes in handy.
yes, it does. Like he learned milk, and now I'm like, oh gosh, why did I teach him that?
Because he
Like
asks for it all
the
the
time
time
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and then
Um,
more and all done are like the 3 things that our kids knew. And it was very helpful, but it was also very a little annoying.
Yeah. And when he's done with his food, he'll do all done and like he'll keep doing it until I'm put him like clean him up and everything. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm still eating though.
Yeah. Kids are so funny and they're very determined. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I don't think mother bearness goes away ever.
yeah.
And I don't think it's a first time mom thing. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I think with each child, you definitely, I mean, I only have 2, but with each, you have to let go of a little bit of control because you don't have as much time,
Mhm.
but that protectiveness never goes away. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think James left me. I think he was about a year the first time that we had him spend the night, but he spent the night with my mom and he not like knows my mom. So
Mhm.
it would be different if I didn't have relatives not like close to us. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I have had people say, like, oh, you're such a mom of one. Like, you're such a first time mom, like people who have several kids. And I'm like, am I mad about that though?
no.
Because I don't mind being a little overprotective. Like, if that's the worst thing you have to say about me, I'm okay with it.
Oh, and you know what though? The overprotectiveness comes in such a beautiful like way though, because you just want what's best for your kids and you
Mm,
want to give them the best. And I have definitely like kind of shifted my mindset with like giving our kids the best, because when we first had them, I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now about like the food we give them and how that affects them and just everything and like our water and all that stuff. And now I feel like some people probably think I'm crazy if they saw the way we fed our kids.
yeah.
They're very keto, carnivore, like don't have carbs. Like if they saw how crazy I am about the fact that they don't drink like juice or anything, like it's so interesting to me when they go to like when James goes to school and the snacks that they have. I'm like, they're feeding them Cheerios and like goldfish, and there's no protein, there's no fats, it's just bizarre to me. And
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many people that are in our family that just think it's so crazy that we feed them the way that they do or that we do, and that we're very protective over those things. But I feel like once you become a parent and you're knowledgeable in those areas and you want to learn about that, like of course you're going to do what's best for your child when it comes to the nutrition, specific, like especially the nutrition. But I'm sure you guys have had many unwanted opinions about how you guys are feeding him and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
you're
I
not
don't think people are too shocked because, well, they know
right.
us. But at the same time, there's people who are like, is that healthy for a kid? Should a baby be not do-? I'm like, he's at the top of his, everything, like for
Yeah.
his like whatever they call it.
The percentiles.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's growing just fine. Like
Yeah.
advancing just like everyone else. Like I think we're doing just fine.
Yeah.
And now like people are starting to learn that like fats are good for the brain and like brain development and all this stuff. I'm like, there's literally like, there's no essential carbohydrate. There are essential proteins and essential fats.
Yeah.
And your body can produce the carbs that you actually need. So, but it's hard for people to recognize that.
It's just so not normal for them. And I think it just goes against everything that the mainstream media tells us. I mean, like when you have the food pyramid thing that came out that said it was like a box of cereal or something was healthier for you than ground beef.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, this is what people are taught. How crazy is that?
Yep. I don't even know what they based that on, but that was wild.
Yeah. No, I don't either. But now, and especially after just everything that we've been through with James too, I'm even more intentional about the foods that we feed him because I see how they affect him, even like down to fruit sometimes. Because the fruits have sugar. Yes, they're natural sugars, but they're still sugar, and it affects him so much. It's so crazy. And I think he's been like 0 carb for a good month now because I was doing sourdough, like making my own sourdough, but I still notice things. And he's been, yes, we have our hard days, but when it comes to food though, he's not up and down like he used to be. And he asks for like eggs, and he likes, he just always asks for eggs, which is not normal for him because he's never really liked eggs before until this last 3 or 4 months. I finally have just been consistent with giving him to him. And now it's like the one thing he loves to eat. And I'm like, okay, good. Eggs, ground beef, like, let's keep it simple.
Yeah, really.
People just think we're insane, but who cares?
Yeah. Well, Rigel hasn't had any fruit yet. And that's supposed to be like one of the things you introduce just in case they have allergies and whatever. But I didn't want to introduce it to him before he was 1. And so for his first birthday, we might do Keto Brick covered strawberries.
Oh, that'll be so fun. Oh, those
I've been like
delicious.
devouring them. Like it's so good. But I thought like we aren't gonna do like a cake, like people do like the cake smash, things like that. I could make one, like I could make a cake, but I'm like, I mean, he doesn't really know the difference, and I don't really need him to have something super sweet. Like I can put a candle in a strawberry, So we might do that just so it is like kind of like a treat, but blunt the sugar spike with the keto brick on the outside. So I'm kind of what I'm thinking.
That's a great idea. I actually saw it it must have been on Instagram. And I saw somebody do a big ribeye steak for their kid's first birthday instead of a snack cake. And I was like, that's genius.
Yes. They did it with like a barbecue sauce, and then like they had like the barbecue.
Yes. Maybe Kelsey sent that to us. I don't know. I just remember seeing that. Like, that is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because that's totally what Colt and I do for our birthdays. We don't make our like keto cake or anything. We just do ribeyes because it's our birthday. So yeah. Oh, that's fun. Okay. I did see you guys dropped a new flavor of Keto Brick yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's limited time. How is that? It looks really yummy.
It's delicious. So we actually originally made it just for Keto-Con. Like we could only get a certain amount of the protein for it.
Yeah.
We were like, man, this is so good, but like we can only get so much. What should we do? Should we do something with it? And I was like, Keto-Con special flavor. And so we did that, but we actually had some extra. So Robert's like, I'm just going to tell my newsletter, and it is so good. Like Robert put it on a chaffle, and he's like, it's straight up blueberry waffle like that.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you guys have any left? I haven't even tried to place an order yet because we just went last week, but I might have to grab that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I was just in town and I just got back, so I don't know. We'll have to check. But we did this morning. We had like a few left, but
cool. Well, if there's some left, I'm gonna have to grab some. Yeah, we are on a big nootropic kick right now. Those are so good.
Yeah,
I think I just like how mellow they are. I mean, they're all like, all the flavors are great, but there's just something about that nootropic. And then like Colt loves it because he eats it while he's like working, so it kind of just helps him cognitively. But our kids love it too. They call it white chocolate. And it's the best. We're doing a like 30-day challenge with some of our clients right now, the ones who want to be like pretty strict carnivore, and we're calling it beef, butter, and bricks. So if you want to add keto bricks to it, they can. So I break like my fast with it, and it is just so tasty. And I don't know how people like, it just blows my mind that people don't, I guess, fill their body with the good nutrition, like after a fast and all that stuff. And then I don't know, keto bricks are like candy bars for Colt and I now. They're so
I know. Same thing for me.
delish.
Sometimes I'm like, they're so rich. Like Robert was just chowing down on a chocolate peanut butter cup. And I was like, how are you eating the whole thing right now? Like it's so, to me, it's so rich. So I'm like, I wish I could do that.
I know.
Like,
Yeah. I think Colt one time ate 2 in like one sitting, and I have no idea how he did that. Like I can maybe finish half of one, but my
yeah,
isn't like his either. So
I'm pretty sure the only time I ate like, well, that's not true. Not the only time, but like one of the best times I was able to eat a full brick was when I was pregnant. It was like
yeah.
I just craved them. Like I had a full one every single day, and it was just like I couldn't get enough.
Yeah. Well, the peanut butter cup ones though, I think the texture, because they're softer, oh my gosh, they're so good. Like they literally are like a Reese's peanut butter cup, which is like my favorite candy. So yeah, between that and the nootropic, I'm set. But I definitely need to try that blueberry muffin one. That one sounds
it's delicious.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Coach Taylor Milton here. Welcome to Skullbellz TV, the official YouTube channel of supersetyourlife.com, where you're going to discover a weekly upload of quick and easy to follow workout tutorials featuring Coach Colt, myself, or one of our athletes to keep your workouts fun, practical, and effective. Our family's latest keto carnivore recipes that fuel Colt's competitions and keep myself and our kiddos strong and healthy. Video uploads of the supersetyourlife.com podcast, now over 100 episodes, your weekly dose of entertainment, education, and inspiration to fuel your life inside and beyond the gym, and much more. Last thing before we get into the video, we're asking a big favor from you. This has been working beautifully, so if you would please think of someone you care about that would benefit from this video, go ahead and smash that like button, click the share button, and text this video to them. That would mean the world to us. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more exciting content from Skullbellz TV, because our team has lots of meat and lots of muscle coming your way, and I promise you won't want to miss it. When you hit the subscribe button, you'll see a bell icon pop up. You want to click that too, so you're notified every time we release a new video. Thank you so much for the support. It means the world to us. Every like, share, and subscription helps our channel grow and supports our family's hard work. So thank you so much for doing your part too. That's all we ask. God bless you, and please enjoy this video.
Do you guys have any more plans for different, I guess you probably can't tell the flavors, but do you have any new flavors coming out?
We do. Yeah, we do. We try not to do a whole lot of new flavors during the summertime just because they can melt in shipping.
Right.
So we do have like protective packaging, and then we put some like cold packs and stuff in there, and we really just eat that price. Like we don't charge anyone extra for like cold weather shipping or anything, or hot weather shipping.
Yeah.
And so we try not to do a bunch of new flavors in the summertime. We're also going to a bunch of conferences and things like that. Yeah. So it's harder to get that kind of schedule down.
Right.
But we do. And I think they'll probably like kind of start again in the fall. We did do some flavors last year for like fall and winter that might make a comeback, or we might adjust them and like kind of make it different. I have been asking for years to do a white chocolate peppermint. And the closest that we got was that chocolate mint, which was great. It's just not white chocolate peppermint. Like I've been at.
That would be so good. You know, I need to try. I can't wait for the fall too, because that's when you guys do the maple butter pecan.
Yes.
I need to try that one, because I don't think we were eating many keto bricks back this last fall, but now we're going through like 2.5 a day. So I can't wait for that one. I've heard so many good things, and are you guys going to do the brownie batter one again?
I think so. Yeah. They actually changed their formula, which was like, oh, darn, because there was one ingredient that we didn't want in the bricks. And I think that they're actually saving the old formula for us.
Oh,
so
nice.
Fingers crossed that everything works out well and that we can do more launches of those, because I mean, those things, they're so good, and they like flew off the shelves.
I know, they sold so fast. I remember going and trying to get some, and I didn't click checkout fast enough, and they were gone. So
it was wild.
Yeah, they looked so tasty. Where can people find you? We'll get that linked below.
Oh, perfect. So Instagram, it's the.lady.savage. My website is ladysavage.com. We have our YouTube channel, which is Live Savage. And then we also have Live Savage Instagram. And that's more of like our family. We're starting to do homesteading and things like that. So
yes,
we'll have that as well. But yeah, pretty much either Lady Savage or Live Savage, you'll be able to find me in
cool.
all the things.
And you're still doing coaching, right?
Yes, still doing coaching.
All right. Well, we'll make sure everybody goes and checks that out too. So, all right. Well, I will talk to you probably later today via text, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yes.
All right. Have a good one, Crystal.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Coach Colt here. Thank you so much for joining us in this entire episode. You know what's more fun than interviewing people like this is going back and editing it and eating a keto brick at the same time. So that's totally what I've been doing the last half hour. Really cool conversation with Taylor and Chris. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, think of someone that you know that would like that conversation, that would benefit from it. Shoot them that link, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Oh, yeah, by the way, link to purchase keto bricks down in the description below. Thanks so much, guys.